Hello. Today we're going to talk a little bit about mindset and some of the other subcategories that kind of fall underneath this topic. But yeah, super important topic. So just wanted to introduce it a little bit more to you guys. So we're going to kind of just jump right into it today. First thing I wanted to introduce was just the idea of mental strength and the importance behind it, and kind of just understanding that mental strength is just as important as our physical strength. And even through these challenging times of in and out of lockdown and just through the pandemic as a whole, it's super important to just make sure that you have your mental strength down and you kind of got some strategies for maintaining that. But yeah, mental toughness and how to be mentally strong. How is going to be controlling your emotions, kind of just focusing on what you need to worry about at that time, and also setting goals for yourself, making sure that you're working towards something, and lastly, just making sure that you completely understand when it's best to put yourself first and in what certain situations that may be. But obviously, training your brain and understanding how to think, but this is obviously a skill that is going to take lots of time and practice, just like it takes lots of practice to get good at anything else, right? So will take lots of work, but also just making sure that you are staying in control of your thinking and making sure that you're being present and achieving that level of focus. But sometimes you do have to tell your brain what exactly to do and how to control it at times just to get things done the way you want. So just make sure that you're being present at that time. But yeah, a little bit about mental strength. Next little thing here is about how to achieve this mental toughness that we talk about. And to do that, you need to understand the idea of a growth mindset. The growth mindset from this picture here, we can just look at some of the terms around it and understanding that a growth mindset is about failure is an opportunity to grow, challenges help me grow, and you like to try new things. So basically the idea of a growth mindset is around the idea that you can always get better and you're always improving as a person, and even if you do fail, you can learn from those mistakes and kind of keep getting better and better and keep taking a step up type of deal. But on the other hand, there's the fixed mindset, and just from this picture, failure is the limit of my abilities, and when I'm frustrated, I just give up and I stick to what I know. So obviously we don't want to have that fixed mindset and just say, these are the abilities I have and I'm kind of stuck here and I can't move forward from it or get better. So to achieve this mental toughness and that strength, you need to ensure that you have a growth mindset and understand that you can always get better and you can always keep improving. So that will definitely be your first step. Next little topic here is about mental preparation. Kind of just to introduce it a little bit more to you guys. What is mental preparation? Mental prep is more or less when an athlete gets in the right mindset or even the frame of mind prior to their performance or any type of competition. So kind of just preparing yourself and warming yourself up mentally before a competition. When should you prepare? You can prepare days or even weeks before competition. But yeah, you can start picking up on some of these techniques to kind of just get yourself warmed up, but also including some mental prep techniques and skills like that into your pregame routine may be beneficial to you. So kind of right before game time to kind of nail some of that stuff in your head and keep yourself reminded of what you need to get done. But yeah, why mental prep? Basically why you should mental prep is this basically just allows athletes to control your emotions or maybe fears that you may have heading into game time, certain roadblocks or stresses that come with performance. You may be able to kind of work some of those kinks out and to kind of just prepare yourself for that game and give yourself the best opportunity to succeed. But I like to think of this just as if you were studying for a test. You're not sure exactly what's going to be on this test that you have to write tomorrow, but you're obviously going to prepare a little bit and study what you can and what you think you can study to give yourself that best opportunity for success. So I kind of think of it as the same as writing a test. So you never know what's going to happen in a game or what plays are going to happen or what the score is going to be. So just even though it's kind of still unknown, just making sure that you still are giving yourself that opportunity. But yeah, how to mental prep basically comes down to just handling that stress that comes with your sport, but also making sure that you're understanding what you need to get done to give yourself that opportunity. Check in with yourself, see how you need to warm up mentally and physically, even nutrition, things like that. But I will cover a little bit more on some more specific techniques that you may use to mental prep. So I'll get right into that now, a little bit more in depth. The first technique that we have is meaningful motivation. This is kind of around the lines of mentally pinpointing some things that may excite you about your game. So kind of just picking out something that you may look forward to from your competition, or something that just excites you, and that'll allow yourself to kind of just stay excited and a little bit more driven just from those positive things that you're picking out, right? Next one is emotional resilience. And this is kind of just the idea that to understand that every game or every match may not go perfectly. And even if it doesn't go according to your plan of how you prepared yourself, just to understand that you'll still go down swinging and you'll still keep fighting, and to never give up and kind of just give it your best. The next one here is about focus. This one's a little bit more self-explanatory, but kind of just understanding that you need to focus on what you have 100% control over. Controlling your thought process a little bit more, not worrying about what other people around you are thinking, and just directing your energy towards topics that are going to, and areas that are going to allow you to succeed. Just kind of focusing about what you need to be worried about at that time, and being present and understanding what needs your attention. Self-awareness, this one kind of goes hand in hand with that emotional resilience, but it kind of just includes being able to adjust based on what's happening now. So whether that be good or bad, just understanding what your next step's going to be and how you're going to move forward from that play. Last one here is visualization. This may be a familiar one to you guys, but you may also know it as imagery or mentally rehearsing. But it's essentially traveling in time and playing your game out mentally, but very specific and detailed, of course. But just kind of creating that mental image of yourself, replicating those exact movements and actions that you'll be doing in your competition. So you're kind of just defining your future and almost creating a blueprint for yourself to understand what it's going to look like to succeed and the type of things that you need to include. But the interesting part about visualization is that visualization uses the same part of the brain as if you're actually doing those movements and actions in real life. So I just thought that was kind of a cool little point. And if you are focusing on all your 5 senses and making it super realistic and detailed, it's going to kind of trick your mind a little bit. So I just thought that was a kind of interesting point. But yeah, just some techniques that you can do before your game or even during timeouts, water breaks, anything like that. Next little topic here is about stress. I kind of just want to touch on this briefly and understanding the difference between good and bad stress. Just examples of good stress is going to include maybe learning a new hobby, going on a vacation with your family and having that excitement build up, or even having a tournament on the weekend. But bad stress is going to be more of those negative things. That's going to maybe include having a fight with your siblings, or having a bad mark in your school test, or maybe dealing with an injury. So obviously more on the negative side. But kind of just understanding that if you are able to keep up on some of these mental techniques and strategies to keep your mental toughness up, you may be able to convert some of these nerves and that bad stress or the pregame jitters and convert that into motivation that will you can actually use to your advantage and to help you succeed. So kind of just interesting that working on your mental strength will help you overcome many obstacles and struggles that you may face within competition and game time. But yeah, just a little bit about stress. And something that may come with stress, and if it's kind of overcoming you, may lead to mistakes. So maybe frustrating, even if you do all this mental preparation and you still make a mistake, right? So just understanding how to handle that exactly, making sure that you completely understand that everyone makes mistakes. So why keep dwelling on something that is essentially just affecting your confidence in your gameplay, right? So making sure that you're being present and kind of just moving forward. So what if something does go wrong though? During game time, make sure you give yourself even a couple seconds to just understand and ask yourself some questions. Okay, why did that happen? Where did I go wrong? How to fix that for next time, right? So making sure that you're not spending too much time dwelling on this, but making sure you embrace that failure as well. Make sure you're learning consciously from every situation and kind of taking something and learning from it to move forward. But yes, moving forward, and every type of mistake that you make is just going to help prepare you for future situations where you may struggle in the future, sorry. But this is going to slowly eliminate the fear that you may have behind failure. So it's important to just adapt that and overcome and kind of just move on with your game. So don't dwell too much on those mistakes. Next little point here is just about leaving your baggage. I kind of just wanted to touch on this briefly, but emotional baggage that you may have during the day if you just had the a bad day at school before practice or a game or even a big tournament, just making sure that you're able to leave your baggage at the door or before you step on the field type of deal, and kind of just enter that practice or any type of competition or performance with an open mind, just starting fresh and just focusing on what you need to focus on. Don't worry about the fight that you may be having with your younger brother at home or the type of mark that you got on your test today. So kind of just understanding that, focusing on the present and just being in the now. Next little topic here is just about positivity. There is a little video link here, but I will make sure to link that in the description below. But just a super important video, and it kind of just demonstrates the importance behind having a mindset and how it can kind of be reinforced with the other people around you. And it's kind of just an interesting little video to display that all. But obviously, positivity comes within yourself, but it may also be sparked or even maintained from your teammates or coaches or just people around you, right? So you want to make sure that you're focusing on your game, but this will also better the people around you. If you're in a good mood, that's kind of going to spread off to other people, right? So if your teammates believe in you, this will reinforce your own mindset and kind of keep you in the positive spirits. But not only is this going to help just the players, but also the bond between the athletes, and kind of just reinforce that, and everyone's going to kind of be connected on that little level. So just an interesting little point to connect it back to mindset. Next little topic here is about emotional bank account. Just wanted to briefly go over this, but may come to mind of just a regular everyday bank account that may come to mind for you guys. But the goal of the emotional bank account is kind of just understanding your teammates more on an individual level, even personal level. And per se, if your teammate walks in and they aren't their true usual self, and they're kind of just seem down in the dumps for that day, understanding them on that level and saying, hey, like something may be off with this teammate. So then you're going to go up to that teammate and make a deposit into their emotional bank account and just say, hey, like, let's warm up together today, or just kind of make a deposit into their emotional bank account just to kind of keep them in good spirits and share that you're still with them and that you kind of see that they're struggling a little bit and that you're there for them. So just having those personal bank accounts and making deposits into your teammates around you. And this will obviously create a bigger bank account, and this is going to resemble trust and a strong connection within your teammates and help with team connection and team bonding. But basically just understanding when someone is having a bad day, and you can help work them through that and just make a deposit into their bank account. So just a cool little concept to think about. But last little thing here today, just wrapping up, just kind of understanding that mental strength essentially separates the good from the greatest. So I don't want you guys to leave your mental strength and toughness in the dust. So if you can start working on some of these habits, or even seeing what techniques work best for you right now, just imagine where you can be in 5 years down the line, right? So maybe even working on some of these techniques now is going to set you forward compared to your competition prior or later down the line, right? So it's going to set you apart from the rest. So I encourage you guys to maybe start picking up on some of these strategies now and see how it works for you and what you can do with them. But yeah, that is it for me today. Thank you guys for listening, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Thank you.